You ever realize your family doesn't actually see you until you disappear? I did, on my 28th birthday, staring at a yellow post-it slapped onto my laptop. Rachel, handle the tailor account, and don't forget Dad's dry cleaning. No happy birthday, no hug, not even a text, just a list of chores, like always. I've spent 6 years working my ass off at my family's investment firm, where being a Carter means everything, except being treated like family. Last year, my mom threw a 200-guest gala for our biggest client on my birthday. When I brought it up, she said, "Oh, sweetie, you're too old for birthday parties, but you know what's really too old. Being invisible in your own life. So this year, I gave myself the best birthday gift ever. I vanished, and I made sure they'd feel it. They say family is everything. But what happens when everything forgets you? I remember the first time I realized I was invisible in my own bloodline. It wasn't a dramatic moment, no stormy dinner or screaming match. It was the silence, the slow erosion, the way your name fades from conversations, the way people ask you for things, but never ask about you. And birthdays don't even get me started. I used to love birthdays as a kid. Mom would bake this lopsided chocolate cake with way too much frosting, and Dad would let me pick a movie to watch, even if it was some cringy teen drama. I'd wake up to balloons and a little card taped to my mirror. But now I get post-its, like the one today. Rachel, handle the tailor account. And don't forget Dad's dry cleaning. No, hey, happy 28th. No breakfast, no card, just a damn list. And what really kills me, I didn't expect anything more. Not after 6 years at Carter & Associates, where I work 12-hour days cleaning up everyone else's mess, while my sister Lindsay bounces between charity galas in couture heels, and my mom struts through boardrooms like she's Queen of Wall Street. Me, I'm reliable Rachel. The girl who'll stay late, the one who'll cancel plans, the one who never complains. They love that version of me. Silent, useful, unproblematic. You'd think growing up in a family like mine, old money, big-name legacy investment firm would come with perks. But being born a Carter just meant having your achievements swallowed whole by your last name. No matter how hard I worked, it was never about me. It was always. That's what we expect from a Carter. Translation: you don't get praise, you get pressure. Even my brother Sam, who ditched the firm years ago to launch a tech startup, told me, "Rach, you're not their daughter, you're their insurance policy." He wasn't wrong. Last year was the final straw. My birthday landed on the same day as some gala my mom hosted for our biggest client. She spent 3 months planning it. Handpicked the flowers, flew in a chef from Milan, booked the venue a year in advance. I showed up because I had to. My mom spotted me near the bar and waved like I was part of the catering staff. When I mentioned it was my birthday, she barely blinked. "Oh, sweetie, you're too old for birthday parties anyway." And then she walked away. That night, I went home alone. Ate store-brand ice cream straight from the tub. Scrolled through Instagram as my coworkers posted pics from the gala, tagging my mom with captions like, "Ita, a boss lady," and "Queen energy." I wanted to scream, but I didn't. I swallowed it. Again. This year, though, something shifted. It wasn't anger, it wasn't sadness. It was a kind of numb clarity. Like when you stare at your reflection too long and suddenly feel like you're looking at a stranger. I sat at my desk that morning, rereading the post-it note, and all I could think was, why am I still here? Why am I sacrificing my time, my energy, my sanity for people who forget? I exist unless I'm saving their asses. And then Shanice burst in. My work bestie. My sanity. The only person in that building who saw me? She was holding a cupcake, one of those grocery store ones with neon frosting and a candle that leaned like it had somewhere else to be. "Girl, tell me you're not working on your birthday again." I wanted to say thank you. I wanted to cry. I wanted to grab that cupcake and run far, far away. Instead, I smiled, weakly. "Thanks, Shanice. At least someone remembered." She looked at the post-it on my desk, and I swear if laser eyes were real, that thing would have caught fire. Unbelievable, she muttered. Even after last year's disaster, these people would forget their own names if they weren't printed on the damn building. I laughed. For the first time that day, maybe the first time in a while, it came out brittle but real. That was the moment. Right there, standing in my overpriced office frosting now on my keyboard, chenille fuming in leopard print, and a candle still flickering from the AC vent. That I knew I was done. Done being the background character in my own life. Done waiting for recognition that would never come. Done pretending that being a Carter meant anything more than being used, overlooked, and silently erased. I didn't tell anyone that day. But I started planning. A small seed of rebellion sprouting in the pit of my gut. My birthday wasn't going to be a footnote anymore. It was going to be a revolution. I didn't make the decision overnight. You don't just wake up one morning and decide to burn it all down. You bleed for years in silence first, but once the match is lit, baby, you let it burn. After Shanice left my office that morning, I sat there staring at that damn cupcake. The frosting was melting, the candle had given up, and I couldn't help thinking, this is my life. Forgotten birthdays and frosting on Excel sheets. I opened my banking app almost on instinct, a habit I'd built over the past year. See, every time someone in my family forgot me, I saved a receipt. The designer scarf my mom clearly regifted from a charity gala, sold it. The Hermes bracelet my sister borrowed, then pretended she bought me, sold that too. Even the hideous heels my dad gave me for Christmas, 2 sizes too small. Gone. One by one, I'd been selling all the tokens of their fake affection on resale platforms. Poshmark. The Real, some shady Discord group called Designer Divorcees, you name it. Every sale felt like a tiny act of rebellion. A silent secret. You don't get to keep using me. And now the total was staring back at me. Enough for something extravagant. Enough for a memory they'd never forget. I clicked open a new tab. Typed luxury solo vacations. No kids, no drama. Within seconds, I was on a site for a private resort in the Maldives overwater villas. Personal butlers. Champagne on arrival infinity pools. And a spa menu that looked like it came straight from heaven. There it was. A phrase that stopped me cold. Because you deserve to disappear in style. I stared at it for a long moment. Then I whispered to myself, damn right I do. And I booked it. First-class flight, 7 nights, private yoga, sunset cruise, room service with truffle fries and gold-dusted pineapple, and a cancellation policy that said absolutely no refunds. Perfect. Girl, are you? Okay. Shanice was back in my doorway, eyeing me suspiciously. I spun my laptop around. What do you think about these ocean view bathtubs? Her jaw dropped. You didn't. I did. That's like stupid expensive. Exactly. I clicked, confirm, and felt something inside me shift like a rusty door swinging open after years of being nailed shut. I felt free. Not vacation free. Not out of office free. I mean, untethered. Like I'd finally peeled off a mask I didn't even know I was wearing. I started cleaning out my office drawer. Not dramatically, just enough to feel like I was preparing for something big. Like the last quiet breaths before a storm. A few hours later, my dad called. Rachel the Taylor account files. Still working on it, Dad. Good. We need to move fast. Your mom's planning another gala, another excuse to throw money at strangers while ignoring their own daughter. I smiled to myself. Got it. I'll handle it. I wasn't going to. Instead, that night I packed. I chose my sleekest dress, my boldest red lipstick. I booked a car to the airport using my backup credit card, the one no one in the family knew about. I left a note on my desk at the office. Taking my owed vacation days. Don't wait up. That was it. No farewell emails, no dramatic exits, no one yelling, "Where are you going?" because they wouldn't notice. Not right away. The flight was early, the champagne was cold. I watched the sunrise over the wing of the plane and smiled for the first time in months. When I arrived at the resort, the air smelled like salt and citrus. The butler Marcus greeted me by name. Miss Rachel, welcome. May I show you to your villa? Yes, I said. Please. Show me everything. The villa was something out of a dream. White drapes fluttered in the ocean breeze. The glass floor panels let me watch neon fish swim beneath my bed. The deck opened out to an endless blue horizon. I kicked off my shoes and ran my fingers across the surface of the infinity pool. I didn't even know I was crying until Marcus handed me a chilled towel. First day of vacation, he asked. No, I whispered. First day of freedom. He nodded like he understood. I changed into a swimsuit I bought with the money from Lindsay's forgotten designer bag. Lounged under the sun with a cocktail in hand. Posted a single photo to Instagram. My legs, my drink, and the endless turquoise sea. Caption. Sometimes you have to remember yourself. It took 5 minutes. 5. Before the text started rolling in. Lindsay. Where are you, Mom? Why are you posting photos like this? Dad, call me. Urgent. I silenced my phone and ordered a second drink. Because for the first time in my life I mattered. And this wasn't a vacation. It was the beginning of something they couldn't control. I didn't just disappear. I chose to be gone. And trust me, they were about to feel every second of it. There's a strange kind of satisfaction in watching chaos you didn't cause, but definitely orchestrated from 1,000 miles away. I was stretched out on a lounger salt in my hair gold-rimmed sunglasses on my face, and a second pina colada on the way. Marcus, my butler/vacation guardian angel, had just offered to arrange a sunset dolphin cruise. Meanwhile, back home, my Instagram story was doing damage. Apparently, a woman floating in turquoise water with the caption, "Choose yourself first," is all it takes to send a family empire into crisis mode. Shanice was my eyes and ears on the ground. She FaceTimed me from inside the office supply closet, whispering like we were part of a sting operation. Girl, you broke the internet and your mother's brain. She's pacing around the office like a cat in stilettos. She saw the story I asked, sipping casually. She's showing everyone the story. Says you're being disrespectful and selfish. I smiled. She's half right. Then Shanice dropped the bomb. Violet pulled up salary data. Turns out your mom's been paying you 30% less than people with less experience. And that includes interns. I nearly choked on my drink. Excuse me, she's been collecting receipts for months. She's going to HR. Or maybe the labor board. Depends how spicy she's feeling. I leaned back in my lounger sun on my skin phone buzzing nonstop. Michaela, my older sister, a woman powered solely by Botox and passive aggression, had messaged me 6 times. Her last one. This isn't funny. Mom's in tears. Where are you? I posted a picture of my infinity pool, a glass of champagne balanced beside me. Caption, healing in progress. Do not disturb. That's when Dad called. I answered because I wanted to hear the tremble in his voice. Rachel. Where are the Taylor files? Hi, Dad. I'm great, thanks for asking. This isn't a game, you're right, I said calmly. Let me ask you something. What's my birthday? What? Just answer the question. A pause. Is it April? I laughed. Close. It's April 15th. You know the day you had me scanning tax documents when I turned 25? Silence. Then look, just send the files. Your mother's charity gala is coming up and we can't have distractions. Oh, don't worry, I said sweetly. I'm the least distracting I've ever been. I hung up and turned to Marcus, who arrived with fresh towels and my spa schedule. How are the Henderson files doing? I asked playfully. Encrypted. Hidden. Untouchable, Marcus replied, like a good secret. That night, I posted again, a photo of me blowing a kiss to the camera ocean behind me. Caption, revenge looks like rest. Within minutes, the comments section became a war zone. Mom, Rachel, come home. Michaela, I can't believe you're doing this to us. Violet, yes. Queen, let them beg. And Seth, my brother, the only one who ever really saw me, just texted joining the rebellion. Be there in 3 days. My phone rang. Michaela, again. Do you know how this makes us look? She hissed. Mom canceled lunch with the Stevensons because she's too upset to eat. I sipped my wine. Oh no, not the Stevensons. This isn't funny. It is a little funny, I said, especially when I tell you how I paid for this trip. She gasped. You didn't. Oh, but I did. The Cartier bracelet you borrowed and never returned. The Chanel clutch you gifted me that still had your initials in it. People pay a lot for that stuff, especially when it comes with drama. You're ungrateful. No, I replied. I'm done. Then I dropped the real bomb. I quit. The firm? The files will unlock in 7 days, forwarded directly to you. You can't do this. We're family. Family? I smiled. Then quick, what's my favorite color? Click. She hung up. I turned my phone off, dove into the pool. And as I floated on my back, ocean breeze brushing my skin, I thought, this is what healing looks like. No board meetings, no dry cleaning, no reminders that I'm a tool in a power suit. Just me, my choices, my breath. And for the first time in my entire adult life, I wasn't apologizing for existing. The thing about silence is it's louder when it comes from the person who always says yes. By day 3, the silence I left behind had grown teeth. Michaela was panicking. Shanice sent me a grainy security cam photo of her trying to bribe IT to crack my workstation password. Her message read, "She's sweating, like she's the one on vacation." Meanwhile, back at the villa, Marcus handed me a coconut smoothie with a tiny gold umbrella. Miss Rachel, your spa therapist awaits. Perfect, I said, checking my reflection. Let's go detox some trauma. But detoxing doesn't mean forgetting. Because while I let go of their expectations, I was holding tight to something else. Receipts. Literal digital emotional receipts spanning 6 years of unpaid overtime, backhanded compliments, regifted birthday trash, and unequal pay. So when Seth arrived, tan relaxed and unapologetically late, we had everything we needed. You weren't kidding, he said, sipping coconut water on my deck. This place is next-level revenge. I grinned. I'm not just on vacation. I'm restructuring the narrative. Together we built the bomb. Not a real one, obviously. An email bomb. Inside, the encrypted Taylor account files. A timer. A challenge unlock with my birthday. Oh, and one little extra, a link to join me for a family meeting via video call. Location Paradise Resort. Invitation only. The day of the call, I wore the red dress my mom gave me 5 Christmases ago to inspire confidence, she said. Funny how good it looked when paired with actual self-worth. Seth adjusted the camera. Showtime? One by one they joined. Mom sitting stiffly in a white linen blazer, trying to look composed. Dad jaw clenched, already angry. Michaela twitching like a trapped influencer without Wi-Fi. Happy family meeting day, I said cheerfully. Let's talk about birthdays and power and what happens when the invisible daughter buys herself a spotlight. Where are you, Mom snapped. Closer than you think. Farther than you'll reach. They were still trying to play catch-up. Still assuming I'd come crawling. Still thinking this was about a tantrum. I shared my screen. Slide 1. Things you forgot. You gave me. A spreadsheet. Photos. Resale values. Hermes scarf, 100 USD. Cartier bracelet, 3,200 USD. Chanel clutch, 2,800 USD. My freedom priceless. You sold our gifts, Dad barked. They weren't gifts. They were guilt-wrapped placeholders. And I turned them into airfare spa days in this killer view. I turned my camera toward the infinity pool where dolphins were literally jumping in the background. God had great timing. Slide 2. Pay disparity at Carter & Associates. Violet's files. HR documents. Salary graphs. Names redacted, but obvious. Michaela looked like she was going to vomit. You were being paid how much more than me? I asked. That's not fair, she hissed. You're right. It's not. Mom tried to regain control. We've given you everything. No, I said, my voice steel. You gave me things. Not support. Not respect. Not recognition. Dad slammed a fist on the table. You're ruining this family. No, I said. You did that when you taught us love was conditional. Then I dropped the final slide. Slide 3. The clock is ticking. A countdown. File unlocks in exactly 43 minutes. Password. My birthday. I leaned back, sipping my cocktail. Michaela fumbled. Is it April 12th? Nope. March something wrong again. Come on, just tell us why you've had 28 years to remember. Then Seth, bless him, spoke up. April 15th. Blue. Wanted to be a marine biologist. First pet was a goldfish named Bubbles. I smiled. See, it's not that hard. They all stared at him. He just shrugged. Maybe if you paid attention instead of playing favorites. I ended the slideshow. Look, this isn't about files or handbags. It's about value, about choosing myself, about proving you don't need blood to build a legacy, you need boundaries. And then I offered them a deal. My resignation's already sent. But Paradise Resort Holdings is launching an investment branch. We've already taken over the Henderson account. And the Wilsons are next. You can't do this, Dad whispered. Already did. Mom's lips trembled. Rachel, please, come home. I softened just a little. Home isn't a place. It's where people see you. And honestly, I've never been more home than I am right now. The timer hit 0. My email dinged. Violet messaged, Labor Board has launched the investigation. HR's cleaning house. You lit the match. We're burning the rot. I stood, smiled into the camera, and said, This meeting is adjourned. Enjoy the tea service I booked for your room. It's almost as bitter as the truth. Click, disconnected. Seth high-fived me. Marcus arrived with champagne. The dolphins leapt again. Sometimes karma comes in chaos, but the best kind arrives wearing red, holding receipts and smiling like she owns the damn ocean. If there's one thing the Carters love more than money, it's image. They thrive on curated smiles, staged charity galas, and Instagram posts, where every caption ends with section family first. So naturally, when the family's quiet, dependable daughter launched a viral revenge campaign from a private villa in the Maldives, well, they didn't take it well, because I didn't just vanish. I documented every luxurious second. Day 4 breakfast in Bloodsport, I posted a photo of my breakfast dragon fruit matcha pancakes and a handwritten note from Marcus that said, Keep glowing. Captioned, Self-care isn't selfish. It's overdue. Within minutes, the internet exploded. Again. Violet texted FYI, Your mom just fired me, but don't worry. I already sent everything to the Labor Board. Her face art. I replied with a photo of my spa itinerary and a voice memo, Send her a thank you basket, with a mirror. Later that afternoon, my brother Seth and I were lounging by the pool when Shanice FaceTimed. She was crouched under her desk like a war reporter. Your mom just posted a statement. Girl, it's dramatic. I pulled it up. Heartbroken that my daughter has chosen material wealth over family. Please respect our privacy during this difficult time. Tag the Country Club, the Chamber of Commerce, and Oprah Daily. I cackled so hard I nearly dropped my drink. She made it sound like I faked my own death. She's treating it like you did, Shanice said. Also, comments are not on her side. She wasn't kidding. Top comments under Mom's post. Didn't you forget her birthday? Pretty sure you posted your gala look the day of her college graduation? That Birkin you gave her? Wasn't it in your Instagram post last month? The internet doesn't forget. And this time it had receipts. Day 5. Going global. A lifestyle influencer reposted one of my photos, me in a white robe glass of wine ocean behind me. Caption, This woman quit her toxic family and turned luxury into liberation. I want to be her when I grow up. Suddenly, I was trending. Buzzwords like family burnout, emotional inheritance, and quiet quitting. But make it opulent were all over TikTok. One user made a remix video of my dolphin cruise with audio that said, "This is what happens when the middle child becomes the main character." And just like that, I wasn't the villain in their story anymore. I was the heroine in mine. Day 6. Strategy call. We set up shop on my villa's terrace. Me, Seth, Chinese remote, and Violet newly jobless, gloriously free, and freshly manicured. We've got momentum. Violet said, sipping her mimosa. Time to build something real. You mean a business, I asked. No, a brand. Paradise Holdings. Female-led, ethically sourced, anti-nepotism. Investment consulting and culture shifting in one. You don't just need revenge, Shanice said. You need legacy. The one they never gave you. I smiled. For once, I didn't feel like I was proving myself. I felt like I was starting myself. Day 7. Collapse and control. The Carters were imploding. Seth forwarded me an email from Dad's assistant emergency board meeting, trying to void Rachel's shares. I sent it to our lawyer with one-line Exhibit A for the labor board. Meanwhile, Michaela tried calling again. I picked up. "Just stop," she said, voice breaking. "You win. Mom's having anxiety attacks. Dad's threatening to sell the firm. You're ruining everything." I turned my camera around to show a platter of gold-dusted strawberries. "You mean this is ruining everything? Or maybe it's the fact that your password guess for the Taylor files was Mom's birthday? Not mine." She burst into tears. "I didn't mean to forget." "I know," I said softly. "You just didn't think it mattered." Click. Day 8. The public statement. I made one post. Me on a yacht. Wind in my hair. Champagne glass raised. Caption. Family isn't about blood, it's about who shows up. Every woman deserves to be the main character of her own life. This is mine. It got picked up by Forbes Women. They reached out for an interview. So did 3 podcasts. One even titled their episode, "She Sold Her Mom's Birkin and Bought a Business." I accepted one of the interviews. I spoke about gaslighting in professional families, being underpaid in legacy firms, and the radical act of choosing yourself. For once, I wasn't scared of my story, because I owned it, and people weren't just watching, they were cheering. Closing beat of Part 5. That night, I posted one last video for the week. Just me, in my villa, facing the camera. To anyone who's ever been overlooked, underestimated, or used for convenience, this is your permission slip, not to run away, but to build something better. Sometimes revenge isn't fire and fury. Sometimes it's peace, bought with your own damn money. I turned off the phone, walked out to the deck, and watched the stars. I wasn't just the girl who left. I was the woman who arrived. 2 weeks. That's all it took. 14 days of peace strategy and perfectly chilled cocktails, and somehow the world had flipped. By the time Seth and I boarded the seaplane back to the city, Paradise Holdings was real official and very, very powerful. We weren't coming home to beg. We were coming home to compete. The Carter office was buzzing when I walked in. Whispers followed us like perfume. "Is that her? She's the one from the story, right? Didn't she bankrupt the Taylor deal?" She landed the Taylor deal at a resort. I strutted through those glass doors like they were my runway. Resort name badge pinned proudly to my blazer. Rachel Carter, Director, Paradise Holdings. The boardroom was packed. My parents were already seated. Mom in Chanel. Dad in denial. They looked up, and they saw me. Not the quiet daughter, not the reliable one, not the afterthought. They saw a threat. I sat down unbothered. Shall we begin Slide 1, redefining investment culture? I pitched our new model ethical boutique, deeply personalized. I showed them the brands we'd partnered with, the clients we'd taken, including 3 of their biggest accounts. "You can't just take what we built," Dad growled. "I didn't take it," I said. "They chose me." Mom's voice trembled. We gave you everything. No, I replied, steady as ever. You gave me things. Paradise gave me purpose. Then Violet entered sliding folders to each board member. Preliminary findings from the labor board, she said. Nepotism, discrimination, creative accounting. Shanice joined via video call, grinning. The tea's hot, y'all. Seth stepped forward. Oh, and the gala budgets. We traced the personal spending. Not very charitable. The board looked shaken. I smiled. So here's your choice. Adapt, partner. Or fade into a LinkedIn cautionary tale. Silence. Then the board chair leaned forward. We approve the partnership. Mom's jaw dropped. Dad went pale. I stood up smooth and certain. Good. And while we're here, quick quiz. What's my birthday? No one answered, except Michaela. April 15th. She said quietly. I looked it up. I should have known. I nodded. Not too late to start learning. Later, rooftop cafe, closing beat. Seth clinked his coffee cup against mine. To building something better. To finally showing up for ourselves, I said. Violet laughed, and to selling the fake Birkin before they figured it out. We burst into laughter as the sun dipped behind the skyline. I checked my phone one last time. A DM from a girl I'd never met. Your story gave me the courage to leave my toxic firm. I just booked my first solo trip. Thank you. I smiled. That's it. That's the win. Final scene, direct to camera. If you've made it this far, thank you. This isn't just a story about quitting. It's about claiming your voice, your value, your place at the damn table, even if you have to build your own. So if you've ever been overlooked, underpaid, or underestimated, this one's for you. Drop a comment below. What would you say to the people who forgot your worth? I'm reading every single one. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell because next week we're diving into how I turned family trauma into a multi-million-dollar brand. Trust me, you don't want to miss that one. Until then, stay bold, stay loud, stay expensive. This is Rachel, signing off from the top.